It's chilly out there.
Freaking cold. Well, coming up on Saturday, a one-man show based on the classic Dickens tale, A Christmas Carol. It's coming to the Great Lakes Center for the Arts.
We want to welcome to the show Alan Fitzpatrick with more information. Now, Alan, I'm just going to jump right into it if I can. How do you translate something like A Christmas Carol with so many memorable classic characters into a one-man show?
Well, I mean, happily, Dickens' story is a novella and not an actual novel, so it's fairly short. And I spent a long time, several years actually, in its entire genesis, in adapting it into a exactly 1 hour edition. Now, if you're asking me how I managed to portray those characters and differentiate them, well, that's something that only an audience can see for themselves. But I do a lot of different physicalizations and different accents, and by all reports, it's very clear to people who have attended the show as to who is talking to whom at whatever specific time.
Wow.
This is its fourth year, by the way, since I began performing it, and my second trip to Petoskey, to the Great Lakes Center, to perform it. It went extremely well last December, so I was thrilled when they invited me to return this week.
I'm curious for you about just the origins of this as an idea in your mind. Did it come to you that this would be a great one-man show? Did it start as, I'd like to get a group of people together, and it just whittled down to you were the last man standing? I mean, tell us how this really came to you.
Sure. In brief, back around 1995, I was living in New York City, and I saw movie and TV star Patrick Stewart star in his own solo version of A Christmas Carol, and it was terrific. It was sold out. It was a huge hit on Broadway. And then cut to just a few years ago, Jefferson Mays did his own solo version on Broadway, which also met with success. So that when a theater in Washington State, where I'm from, asked me if I was interested in developing a solo show to perform at their playhouse, I thought, well, A Christmas Carol would be a great thing to do. It's been done successfully before, so I sat down and worked on the adaptation myself. They commissioned it, they produced it, and I did it there for that first Christmas, and then subsequently have added a number of venues. There's 3 venues here in Michigan, and nine other venues in Washington State through till Christmas Eve.
Wow.
How long did this all take you to, put pen to paper and come up with the adaptation to the point that you were happy with it and confident enough to take it on the road?
Well, the fact is that, from year to year, as I revisit it, as it gets every fall, when I look at the script again and have to rememorize it, I do make little tweaks. But the original process took, it was a combination of both writing it and while I learned it. And that whole process took about 3 months, three to 4 months. Once you learn it, however, of course, as long as my brain cells continue to work, it kind of stays in there. So I was amazed that I was able to relearn this piece in about 4 days this go around, when it took 5 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
First year. But once it's there, the brain is an extraordinary thing, and all those words kind of sit in there ready to be retrieved when you need them.
Now, Alan, let's jump into logistics with the last couple minutes we have with you today. Date, time, and how do people get tickets to come out and experience this for themselves?
Well, if they live anywhere near Petoskey or driving distance, this first performance is this coming Saturday, the 7th, at 7 p.m. at the Great Lakes Center for the Arts in Bay Harbor. And to obtain tickets, they should just go to the center's website, which is greatlakescfa.org. And it's easy to purchase tickets in that manner. The next day, on Sunday the 4th, if anyone happens to be living close to the Sheboygan Opera House, it will perform on Sunday at 4. And then we're flying out to Beaver Island on Monday, where we're going to perform the show at the Beaver Island Community Center at 6 p.m. There. I'm not quite sure. I guess Beaver Island Community Center has its own website, but I assume most of your listeners would be able to attend either in Bay Harbor or in Sheboygan, and I would go to the greatlakes.org website.
Yes, indeed. Well, we've got some Beaver Islanders out there too that I'm sure will know how to find you. So that's good. We'll wish you a happy and safe journey across over to the island.
Lots of traveling for you, sir.
Just in the last 30 seconds here, real quickly, just give us, I mean, we've seen the video that you shared with us, a lot of the reviews of your one-man show, but what's it like with that audience interaction maybe after a show to feel that response from the crowd?
It's great. I mean, live theater is great. I love the challenge of having taken on a solo show. I mean, I spent 40 years in a career before I decided I had the courage to do a show where it was just me on a stage. So the warm feelings and adulation I receive after performances are great. This show puts people in the Christmas spirit like no other show I've known or ever performed in. So it really it brings Christmas into people's lives in a very immediate and visceral way. And if people are in the mood for getting in to the spirit, this is the show for that.
That's great. Alan Fitzpatrick, thank you so much. The show coming up on Saturday and Sunday, the 7th and 8th. And then over in Beaver Island as well. We'll share more details on our website at 9and10news.com. Break a leg out there, and thanks for sharing it with us here in Northern Michigan.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much, Alan. You have a good